Hello, today we'll be talking about hognose snakes. Hognose snakes include several unrelated species of snake with upturned snouts. Today we will be focusing on the genus Heterodon. Females can grow up to 3 feet, while males can grow up to 2 feet. They can survive until 18 years in captivity. There are multiple species within the genus Heterodon, such as the eastern hognose, western or plains hognose, Mexican hognose, and the southern hognose. The dusty plains and Mexican hognose used to be grouped underneath a general term called western hognose, but were recently given their full status species name. They also have a fascinating defense mechanism, playing dead. All species of Heterodon have upturned snouts and stout bodies that allow for burrowing in dirt and leaf litter. They eat a variety of prey, including frogs, salamanders, toads, lizards, small snakes, birds, small mammals, and lizard snake internal eggs. Hognoses are active during the day and use their snouts to dig around in the dirt and hopefully stir up prey. During the winter, hognose snakes brumate in underground burrows. They emerge from brumation in late spring. Hognoses are observed to be most active in spring and fall. When threatened, the hognose snake flattens its head and neck and then strikes with a loud hiss. However, it rarely bites. These actions are known collectively as the kinetic phase. Usually bites are due to improper feeding practices or that the snake is just feeling silly. The blood fails and rolls over, writhing and then feigns death, with its mouth open and tongue lolling. This is known as the akinetic phase. Hognoses can play dead almost from birth. Hognoses, when turned on their back while faking death, will usually turn right back over on its belly. However, this response might not be just some unexplained mistake on part of the snake. Dead snakes floating in water will always return to this position, even if they are disturbed. Therefore, it is possible that this rolling over is a type of vestigial behavior, evolved for use in water. Scientists found that doses of adrenal hormone epinephrine, norepinephrine, and acetylcholine did not excite this behavior in hognoses. Therefore, they concluded that the rolling behavior was likely central humoral or reflex effects. Hognoses, like many other snakes, secrete musk, either by itself or in conjunction with its death-feigning act, along with any urine or feces. The dust and excrement is rubbed over the snake as a fake death, making it entirely unappetizing to potential predators. The compounds that make up snake musk are much the same across different families of snakes, a mix of aldehydes, ketones, and fatty acids. Snake musk released on its own is usually a white or off-white color. In terms of texture, it's described as milky, oily, and greasy. The relative size of adrenal glands are bigger than other snakes, hypothesized as an adaptation to a hognose's diet of toads. Hognoses have 20 to 22 chromosomes. They usually breed in both spring and fall. As pets, hognoses have a lot of known morphs. The wild type, which is the most common, is a light tan with dark spots repeating from head to tail. There are 2 types of morphs, color morphs and pattern morphs. Common mutation is albinism, which is a color morph. Some examples of other color morphs are axanthics, lavenders, leucistics, and lemon hypo/lemon ghosts. An example of a pattern change morph is the anaconda, or as it is commonly known as, the conda. These snakes have larger but fewer spots, white belly walls, and an all-black belly. The conda gene is a patternless gene and displays what is known as incomplete dominance. With 1 copy of the gene, the above traits are expressed. With 2 copies, however, the snake becomes patternless. This is known as a superconda. Line-bred snakes are selectively bred snakes and happen when 2 snakes with the same trait are bred and the breeder hopes they pass on those wanted traits. There's a lot of combinations to be made with snake breeding, like snow morphs. There are hundreds of morph variations just for hognoses, not just including morph combinations, and likely more to be discovered. The gene that causes these mutations is OCA2, which makes tyrosinase, which then converts an amino acid called tyrosine to dopaconone, and is a crucial enzyme in synthesizing menolin. This means that changes in this gene can cause albinism or a lack of menolin in the snake. Hognoses are mildly venomous. They produce a protolipase enzyme in their saliva, which is effectively harmless and found in the saliva of many animals. The venom of different hognose species can differ in their exact makeup, however. Hognoses have specialized glands, known as Hognose glands, separate and distinct from their ordinary salivary glands, that produce venom. However, even though the venom is not exceptionally toxic to people, hognose snakes are absolutely capable of delivering bites that become symptomatic, although not medically important, in humans. As mentioned before, hognoses eat a variety of prey. Western hognose snakes play an important role in their ecosystem as they control populations of toads they prey on. These snakes are one of the few species that are able to tolerate the toad's poison because their saliva helps break down the toxins from toads. Toads inflate themselves as a mean of defense, so western hognoses have larger teeth in the back of its mouth to puncture the toad as it swells. However, different species can have slightly different diets, like for example the eastern hognose. In captivity, however, most hognoses are fed a diet of frozen thawed mice or rats, fed once every 3 to 4 days when young and once every 7 days when adults. Hognoses tend to grab mice sideways, as that is how they eat toads in the wild.